Old Sneelock. Welcome to another episode of Old Sneelock's Workshop. I don't know if you realize this or not, but I kind of have a fascination with files. Yep. As part of my job, from the time I was very small on up, I've been using files to file things. Shape edges, polish things, sharpen things, round things off, cut notches, make slots. Files are pretty useful. But the problem I had, all of the files at Dad's house had the edges dull. Now, why would all the edges be dull? Well, it wasn't really all the edges, it was just the four corners. Well, see, Dad worked at the Midwest Foundry. And when you cast iron into sand castings, there's something called chill. If the iron is too cold, or the sand is too wet, or you have really thin sections on the casting, as the iron goes into that small part of the mold, it will cool off. It'll cool off rapidly. It'll form white iron. And the white iron, you can see it when you crack it. The edge of the iron where it got chilled and froze up are kind of a silvery color. The middle of that cast iron is going to be gray, porous. The chilled iron is silver, shiny, and denser. It's harder. It's a problem for castings. At the end of the grinding line, the inspectors each had a file, just about like this one. They had a handle on it, of course. They would take the corner of the file and go along the edges of the castings. Each casting had its own particular place that it was likely to chill first, so they would file there. If it wasn't chilled there, it wasn't going to be chilled anywhere else on it. But they would use up the corners of the files. Once they used up the corner, they didn't need them anymore. And they went through 3 or 4 files a day. They were working with 10 or 20 tons of castings. Yeah, these guys picked up a lot of iron during the day. So they would check the iron with these little files, and the edges would be worn off and they'd be dull. I didn't buy new files. Why would I? Dad had bundles of them, because literally they threw them away. They went into the scrap iron and got thrown into the cupola, but nobody minded if you needed a file at home if you took a few. Dad worked there 35 years. He took a lot. So, anyways, get back to the original part of the story. Today, I was on the road. Yeah, I do that. I have to go and do all kinds of things in town. I had to go do some shopping and return some clothes, and just in general made a town run. Whenever I do that, I try and get everything done at once. And I was down by the Restore. Yeah, one of my favorite places to go. So I went into the Restore and looked around, and the only thing they had were 2 files. This is a 4-way file. It has 4 different patterns of teeth on it. This is a rasp side with 2 different numbers of teeth on it, and this is a double cut file on this side. But it cost me all of a quarter. Can't go wrong for that. And it's pretty sharp. Now, a rasp is set up differently than a file. If the edges on a rasp are a little bit dull, it doesn't matter so much because you're not doing finish work. On the double cut side, it's a little dull too, because it probably rattled around with a bunch of other files for a long time. But I can sharpen it. This is a good impetus to get out the sulfuric acid and set up the soap bottle, sharpen some files. I also got this one. This one cost a dime. Not bad for a file that'll run you anywhere from $6 to $15. It's a Nicholson, and it's an old Nicholson, so it's a good Nicholson. This one isn't that dull. It's a little bit dull. That's the best time to sharpen it, when it gets just a little bit dull. Before it starts breaking the teeth off because you're pushing so hard on it trying to make it cut. So this is going to go in the bath too. Now, it's supposed to be nice weather tomorrow. I'm going to go outside, set up the system, and get it ready to go. Got to mix up some baking soda water, some sulfuric acid, get the 2 reactors set up outside, and sharpen some files. Now, the thing I'm going to do, like I did last time, I'm going to show you how dull this one is, and how dull this one is, and how dull the other ones that I'm going to put in the bath are. And I'll see if I can't get a close micro photograph of this. I don't have a macro lens, so it's a little tough getting a really good picture up close, but I certainly am going to try. This one I got to clean off. Going to have to go over it with a file card. It's got some kind of guck in it. I would imagine it's Bondo. Bondo is a great thing to find in a course file because people think that they should start cutting the Bondo while it's still soft. Yeah, that's okay. You want to get it. Bondo has a point where it will be rubbery, but it won't stick in the file. I'll go over these with the file card and the file scraper that I made up, and we'll see if we can't get these sharpened up. See what happens. If you have any suggestions for a new video, questions about today's video, or any of the other videos on the channel, just drop a note in the comments. You know I read them all. Thanks for watching.